So we're talking 12 to 18-year-olds, and the level of student participation in lessons was really low, and they wanted to improve that. So we got set up some action learning sets with teachers, and actually included some of the students as well, to look at how could students increase their participation in lessons. And the outcome was that they did develop more student-centered approaches, and they did lots of experiments with groups and brought those back together and looked at the results and challenged them. So it was a real inquiry project about how we can improve our student engagement, but included the students in certainly the older students in it. So we set up some action learning sets with parents of those children and school teachers, and looked at how the school could provide and be more inclusive for students with additional needs. So that was really interesting piece of work that we did, an example of how a school could use action learning. And it's all around sustainability and the school becoming greener in its how it works. But we run it as an action learning set, and oh boy, do they ask some great questions, as 7-year-olds often do, without the inhibitions of as adults have. And we use it for that. We've also used it for mental health and well-being, where they talk about their own challenges about being at school, and they support each other in coming to ideas of things that they can try. So department heads preparing for leadership roles, and used action learning for that. So one of the ones recently was one on well-being and workload reduction. So again, working with staff in action learning sets to try and understand and test out ways in which workload could be managed better, and well-being. You can look at all of the skills about reflection and developing critical and reflecting questioning skills, building leadership. And it started now being used in teacher training programs, when student teachers, where they go on placement in particular, and then the action learning sets brings those teachers on placement together to share the challenges that they had in their teacher training placements. So it's used in that environment as well.